Hey everyone, it's Gregory with eGuide back again for another product walkthrough. And today our focus is going to be on design. As a small business owner, sometimes the budget doesn't really allow for outsourcing on your marketing materials or maybe your branding materials or anything like that. So what do? You go to the tools that you know. And I know people out there who are still using Paint for some of their marketing materials. And I'm happy to tell you that there's free solutions out there. And one that we're going to talk through today, which is called Canva, is easy to use, it's web-based, and it really kind of helps you in terms of your marketing materials, especially on social media. So let's dive right in. It's a great tool, and I'm excited to show you all about it. So what we're going to do is kind of start from the beginning. Um, the nice thing about Canva is that it's free to sign up. All you have to do is go to canva.com. That's like canvas without an S. And you can link your Gmail account to it, or you can just, I think you can link your Facebook account to it, or you can use your email and create a password. But basically, what you're looking at here is what will be available to you as soon as you log in. So, as a lot of web based applications, this has a left side navigation where you can navigate through your designs, which will be in your library here. As you can see, I've been pretty active using this already. In a corporate setting or a premium account, you do have the ability to share your account information with other team members. I think for what it is, it's a little pricey, especially since the free version is so robust. And if you're a team of one, it's not going to be necessary for you to use. But if you are kind of sharing between a marketing team or you're collaborating on designs, the premium account does allow you to do that here. You can upload some of your brand templates. If we click on your brand here, you can do your logo and things like that. And then there's other templates that you can flag that you use on a regular basis. So generally what I'm doing is kind of working through some of these prefabbed designs already created. What my favorite thing about Canva is that they give you these canvases that are fit to the exact size for social media. As you can see, here's an Instagram post, which is 1080 by 1080. A Facebook post is 940 by 788. Twitter posts are 1024 by 512. So really like all of the canvas work is done for you. And we can click on any of these. Let's say we're making a Facebook post. And as it loads up, it'll always pop up in a new window, which is great. So you can always reference back to your library. You can have multiple canvases going at the same time. And the first thing that's going to load up here is going to be some of the free layouts that you can use. And this is a great way to start kind of your design from. I will say that just make sure that your brand imaging is consistent so that you're not using a ton of crazy text on every post that you're doing. But in terms of layout and design, it's a great place to start. So let's click on this buy one, get one free. We have the canvas already aligned. Actually, this was a bad example because it was a paid version. So another thing to note here is that it's going to say free on the bottom right-hand side, or there'll be a coin or a credit mark on the bottom right-hand side, and that's the ones that you'll have to pay for. But there's plenty of free templates out there to use. So let's do something like, this guy. So we have some balloons in the design. Maybe we're celebrating something. The nice thing about this is I have the ability to go in and customize every one of these colors to fit my brand colors. So let's just, for example's sake, say we're going to use this orange. Each item in here I can customize even further. So let's say red isn't part of our color scheme and we want to use this green. And as you can see, it's just as simple as clicking and selecting which color you'd like, clicking on the item that you're looking to select, and then just going down the line here and making sure that these match exactly what you're trying to do. So super easy to use, which is one of my favorite things as well. So let's say we want to move some of these balloons around. It's all drag and drop, which is great. But what's nice about this template is that it's already done for us. So same thing down here. If we want to delete this kind of like confetti icon, all we have to do is press the delete button, and say we want to change the text, that this is a little too scripty for us. All we're going to do is select on the item here. We can highlight the text and change it that way, or you can just select on the item and then click your text drop downs here. The one thing I will say is that the Canva texts are kind of native to Canva, so they're not necessarily text names that you're going to be super familiar with, but try to find ones that are close to whatever you're using on your website or other branding material, just to make sure that there's that consistent brand message across the board for you. So generally speaking, when I am designing something, I'm using a sans serif text, which doesn't have these little guys, hang guys down here. So I might go down to something like Helvetica-ish. They have one that's called, or there's like Open Sans that I use frequently. But even some of these other ones that are a little bit more designed are nice to kind of look through as well. So we're selecting those. As you can see, it changes right in there, which is great. I have another text box down here, which is kind of my sub text box. I can drag this down a little bit more. I can increase the size of that font using my tool here, and I can change the color if I wanted to bring in some of the design colors from up above as well. So super easy to do. The other great thing is that you have the ability to upload things to your content library. So say I wanted to add my logo in here. It's as simple as going and uploading that, dragging and dropping it over that area there. And then all we have to do is drag and drop that onto the canvas. I will say that PNGs that have transparent background is the way to go. If your logo doesn't have a transparent background, or you don't have that, it may be worth a little spend to get that, because that just really means that you can drag and drop that anywhere you'd like, and it's not going to have that white background or white square or circle or whatever you may have with your logo right now. So definitely worth the investment there, and that may be something that you pay a designer for. There's some other tools out there. I know, like within Keynote, you can mask a shape, but just be careful with that, because sometimes your edges can get a little bit blurry as well. So there's a little design tip for you today. But as you can see, we've dragged and dropped that there. One thing I do wish they had was that there isn't necessarily a eyedropper tool. So let's say, I dropped my logo in here and I wanted to match those colors. Like, I don't have that eyedropper feature where I can scroll over my logo here and pull the colors out of it. But that being said, again, like, you have Paint, which has that available if you're using a PC, or an outdated PC, because I don't think Paint exists anymore. Or there's like Keynote or PowerPoint, which does have that feature in it as well. So there are some workarounds there. But again, with your brand colors especially, make sure that you're using the code for those colors, which is the color code here, more so than you're using the eyedropper, just so that they're consistent across the board. So we made this quick little design. As you can see, it took all of like 5 minutes as I was talking through and explaining it all, and it looks pretty great. I don't know if I would use this for anything, but as you can see, just like walking through the different templates, we were able to put together a pretty cohesive design in a matter of minutes. And the great thing is that when I go and download this, it's going to prompt me to download as a PNG, and then I have the ability to share that direct to social media here as well. So obviously on a PC, it's a little bit different to share direct to Instagram, but the great thing as well is that there's a Canva app. So I highly recommend downloading the Canva app as well. I will say that the functionality is a little bit harder to navigate through, just because as you're using your finger, it's not as precise to select on a specific item. But for quick design, and for the ability that it can import direct to Instagram, and you can push direct from Instagram to your phone, it's definitely worth the investment there, especially since it's free. So the only other thing that I didn't mention is that it's cloud-based. So your app talks to your database here. So any design that you're creating on your desktop version will push right to your mobile app as well. And so say you wanted to kind of put a series of images together for Instagram, you have the ability to push those right from your app on your phone to Instagram without any sort of double work, which is great. So that's a brief overview of Canva. There's some other premium features that you can pay for, but I personally use the free version, and for me, it works really well. And I think it's a valuable tool for any small business out there that is kind of working through some of their own design work. So definitely check it out. It's canva.com, free to sign up. And until next time, I will be here to answer any questions. Feel free to throw any questions down below in the comments. And until next time.